wrong with you, crazy American?
I didn't pick him.
What is your American problem?
The only reason he ran because nobody else wanted to run.
For the record, everybody here, nobody voted for Trump?
No.
Please don't tell me you did.
I voted for him.
I'm gonna get a video for them so they can see how we do here. This the greens with the smoked turkey, yams. We got green beans, dressing, macaroni and cheese. What's this? Chicken, Brenda? Turkey, and I look like meatballs. She over here unwrapping the ham, fried chicken. You did all this? Why she saying it aggressive with this knife in her hand? I got nervous for a second.
I kind of did the string beans, okay. Sweet potato, but everything else is Brenda.
All right, Queen Brenda hooking it up as usual. And this the main turkey right here. This some of the children. This my little nephew. What's up, nephew? My niece, she a giant now. More of the family that we got here, man. My Uncle Tony and his wife, Alana. Everybody done ate a little bit. Cousin Chris. We just sitting around chilling, talking. Yeah, this my brother, beautiful family, his wife and his kids. They finna creep out with their plates. They sneaking out like black folks, you know.
Look, they ain't got to go.
What's wrong with you, crazy American?
I didn't pick them.
What is your American problem?
Yeah, man.
Stupid. What I am concerned about.
Not all of us. Yeah.
What I'm concerned about with him being in office, at one point in time, there was a rash of the cops shooting and killing black people.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing being done about it. And
Well,
so now, and so it's all right. And so now,
long as it ain't too loud.
So now that he said this on the campaign trail that
just keep it low.
the police officers got carte blanche. Yeah. They can do whatever they want to do. Yeah. And so we already know immunity.
Qualified immunity is what
qualified immunity. So what he's saying is, the police officers, they can stop whoever they want to do. Stop they can do stop and frisk. Yeah. That job was outlawed however many years ago. So he's saying they can do that. They can just stop people at will for no reason. And we already know our experience is that they're going to stop and frisk the black and brown people.
That's a fact.
Especially men.
But to be fair, to play God's advocate, they just stopped my black ass in January, before Trump was in office. Took me to jail for no reason. Took my pistol. I had my CCL, my FOIA card. I have done everything by the book. And they were still allowed to confiscate my gun, destroy it, lock me up for no reason. And I got to fight to get my gun back. And I had it legally. I didn't violate anything. I didn't do anything wrong. Exactly. So I hear what you're saying, but to be fair, it's been like that already. You know?
I think it's going to be escalated with him in office again. It's going to be that because you kind of start. We don't hear everything that goes on in the news, but that kind of like died down. We haven't been hearing a lot of like killings and stuff.
So for the record, everybody here, nobody voted for Trump?
No.
Please don't tell me you did.
I voted for that. I didn't vote for that fool either.
And for the record,
but I didn't vote for Kamala either, though. For the record,
come on, bud. Why not?
I don't care if they don't like that. I don't like her either. Why? I'm not a fan of neither one of them.
What is it about her not to like versus the two candidates that were
First of all, the woman said she would never pass anything specifically for black people.
What?
Yes, you could Google it right now if you want to. She said it in an interview. I will never pass a law specifically for black people. So that is an issue for me.
See that. I would need to research that.
It's easy to find. It's easy to find.
But if that is true, that contradicts.
It's true. I'll find it for you if you want me to.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Wait, have you read Project 2025?
I watched the whole thing where they talked about the highlights and it was black men specifically talking on it. But before we get to that, one, she said she ain't passing nothing for black folks. I'm not going to rock with you then. Two, she's a part of the party that supports all of this promotion of homosexuality and sex changes and all this with the children. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not supporting anything where you're gonna have carte blanche to influence children like that. In terms of sex changes and removing the parents from being able to make that decision for the kids and letting the kids make that decision themselves, I'm not supporting that. And that's a part of their party. And then when it comes to her pandering to black people, where it's like 1 second you like, oh, I cook my collard greens in the bathtub and this and that. The talking to that Obama gave to black people, and you're lucky I didn't have Michelle come out here. And it's like, who are you talking to, sir? We not children for you to be scolding us and telling us how we should vote based on what you think. So, in my opinion, they came at black people all wrong. That's why I think a lot of black men was not supporting her in the end. Yes.
Okay, but if you were in a relationship, we're in a relationship with the United States, right?
Okay.
And so we make this checklist, like that's what kind of women do. I'm going to say. So we say, this is all the good things about my guy and this is all the bad things. And so there was about this many bad things you didn't like. 5. But there was this many bad things we didn't like about Trump. So why couldn't we just...
I don't like either one. So I don't think
it's always you're not going to like 100%. That's just like in your relationship.
Yeah, not every candidate is true.
Right, but what...
How you gonna turn around?
They be tough.
They be tough with you.
We don't, you just not...
No, you're right. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect.
Nobody is gonna be
That's
perfect.
true.
So sure, she may say some things that's off-putting, but her compared
Overall
to him,
agenda
overall, you have to look at the overall.
Now, this is my first hearing about what you spoke. You said she said about not doing anything.
I'll put that in context.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah, for me, what that meant, I didn't hear that comment, but to me, what that means is she was trying to say that I'm going to be a president for everybody. Yeah. I'm not going to specifically make laws for African Americans because I'm African American and Asian. I'm going to be a president for, and she said that a million times.
Yeah, she has. That's one of her platforms that she
for
read
all
on.
people. So I think that was the context of what she meant in saying
and
that.
You know what?
Maybe it was delivered the wrong way or said the wrong way.
Right.
I don't like it.
I cannot be. If I'm gonna be the president of the United States, I can't just focus on black people.
Coming out for black
Because
that's cool.
Everybody,
Now you putting yourself in a box.
You can't say that, even if that's what you gonna do.
That's perfectly fine.
Now, even if that's what you're gonna do.
You free to say that, but I'm just saying, as a black person who has a vote, if you say that, you lost my vote.
But if you think about it, when you think about Obama did not pass anything for black people, except he did. When you think about the housing recession,
what he was able
that
to
was
do
for everybody.
Congress pushing back on him.
So when you think about the housing recession, when you think about the automobile, and the people they said was too big to fail, that was for everybody. It didn't have to be black. We just all know that we're all still in our homes. We all still know we can afford cars. We all still have union jobs. Like, it didn't have to be black. It just had to be socially fair.
Well, that's why that's where I disagree with y'all, because we have our own issues that are separate from everybody else. So we rightfully, in my opinion, do have some things that need to be addressed. That should not be addressed in general. Well, hold on, wait. I don't want to cut. Remember no, you finish before I go ahead.
Let me forget. I have menopause.
Go ahead.
Let me not forget.
Go ahead.
Let me forget I got
all that aside, the man wants to deport me, and people like
he's trash. I'm not a supporter of Trump whatsoever.
Kamala does not want to deport me.
And I guess
if I'm here legally, I should be able to stay here. According to him, mass deportations. According to what he said at the RNC, mass deportation, signs all over.
And see, it's so many different
I'm here legally.
issues.
There's no freaking way you should be
I'm
deporting me.
Because you didn't vote for her, you voted for him.
No, sir. No, sir.
He didn't do it.
That's not the case. But let's go to the thing.
I think nobody's saying this in the media. I think they cheated myself.
Probably.
I think they cheated. I think he cheated. I think they cheated.
Which is another reason. I didn't vote.
Elon Musk.
No, seriously.
Elon Musk is a
if you know the history of it.
Yes. The guy on Facebook, what's his name? Bezos. He's a tech guru.
Yeah.
They could have easily done some stuff behind the scenes.
They own some
because
voting
did you all know the voting machines
counting
are
machines
owned by Elon Musk, a company called Starlink?
But nobody
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either. Y'all looked it up.
And then if you look at the,
I thought it was just a bunch of propaganda.
Like the last 5 elections versus this election.
Yeah. The numbers don't add up.
No, the numbers don't add up, and that map has never been that red.
Exactly.
The whole
Let's see.
this the map.
And he got the popular vote.
This the
it's
map
like
right
an
here.
F student.
The map all
Hacking into the school
from here to here is
and
red.
getting them plus
Because half of America does not support him. So how is the map red all the way this part?
Yeah.
Only this
A
part.
lot of people support him and didn't admit it though.
There were
They sure
A lot of people did support him.
They are being ridiculed.
And then some of these Hispanic people, they finna find out.
Yeah, which is I'll be surprised how many Hispanic people and how many women voted for him. That's what be tripping me out.
If this graph was right that they had going out, over 0.5% of Hispanic men voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Over half.
He got a lot of that support.
Embarrassing. Oh my God.
Like that actor John Leguizamo said, if that ain't roaches for Ray, I don't know what the fuck
You
is.
feel me? But even with the women, the first time where it was like over 50-some% of white women voted for him after he was talking about grabbing pussies and all. I was like, what? How y'all voting for this fool?
No dignity at all.
Now this is my issue with what you said, brother. Even though I respect everybody's opinion, I feel like I have never seen a candidate that was worth voting for in my lifetime. The only one I've ever seen died before I was born, which is Harold Washington. I would have voted for Harold Washington based off of what I've seen from his interviews and his politics. Everybody else, I don't trust them to even waste my time. So my issue from grammar school, they taught us about the Electoral College. I remember in grammar school thinking, this sounds rigged because you're basically saying my vote goes to the Electoral College members and they actually vote on the president.
Right.
But who is the Electoral College?
Yeah.
Name one Electoral College member for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know any?
Yeah.
That in itself is a problem. We voted for people we don't even know who are actually voting for.
They should do away with that stupid.
I agree.
And you know what?
Strike two.
Could have done it, and he didn't.
Strike two to this same point of the Electoral College. Hillary actually won the popular vote, like you was just saying, but Hillary did not become the president, which means even though the majority of the country, wanted her to be the president, they didn't, so she wasn't. Strike two. Strike three for me was when Bush won, because all them Florida votes magically disappeared, and instead of them saying we need to redo it, we need to recount it, that was like, oh well, he won anyway. So that was enough for me to be like, I'm not participating in this because it's nonsense. But then it was a strike four. Because a friend of mine, and shout out to Jaren, she the one that told me this, Jaren Stroder. She said she was in college, I believe it was when Bush won, and she was like, they were still all lined up at the booths to cast their vote, and then they announced it on the screen like, oh, Bush just won the presidency, but the polls wasn't exactly, but they were still taking votes in, but he won. So I have seen just in my short time on this earth time after time after time, reasons where it's like, what am I even voting for in the first place then?
Vote for the presidential. You didn't vote for the down vote either then.
Now, locally, I do feel that you can make more of a difference.
Even beyond that. So if you didn't go to do the president, you didn't do the down votes, which means you don't have a vote in your senators, in your House of Representatives.
I don't know anybody to vote for.
But okay, then we need to, because that is just as important, because we can always make the president kind of sit back and relax like they did with Obama. He had to sign some, because our representatives saying, no, we're not going to do that.
True.
So we got to start figuring out.
No, I'm with you on that. I do believe you can make much more change voting locally than voting on the president.
Say actually that's where the votes count more than the presidency.
I agree with that.
To bring laws that's going to affect everybody in their community right then and there.
I agree with that.
Because I love our governor, and I swear
we don't have any checks and balances this election though. He got the House, he got the corrupt Supreme Court, and he's got the Senate. So now he can do whatever the hell he wants.
And the clowns.
And I see where Bud is coming from, because I went back and forth with that a couple times also, like, are we just pawns in this whole voting game? They really think our vote counts.
Exactly.
And it really doesn't, because like I said, there's been so many discrepancies between it.
This election totally disappointed me.
Popular vote, you get this, and they want us to vote one way, and this brings up a semi-conspiracy theory that other people always talk about. Like, who's really running this country? Is
the
it
corporations?
Corporations, or do they just got the president as a front man or woman as a face?
The people putting the money behind the candidates in
one of the five families, if they really exist. What they do say, we know the Rockefellers are a true family. The Rockefellers are. The Rothschilds are.
They let this happen though.
So,
if that's true.
In all actuality, we're no longer a democracy. I believe that. We are
no longer a democracy.
Which means that there's a few, and they're usually rich. It has nothing to do
with
families. And the few families that come in and they do it. So, but usually what leads to that, so we know that we kind of believe in it because Russia is a democracy, except that it's not. Because in 1993, they signed off and said we're a democracy. But we know that they've had the same president for 12 years now. And we also know all the people that have money over there is the people that run Russia, and now it's an authoritarian dictatorship.
Right.
So you can sign and say whatever you are, but I do believe that we're moving in that direction.
I think we already been there, in my opinion.
We already are.
But so, could you pause it right quick so we could listen to Miss Harris?
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people.
Okay, so I got a question for you though.
She's pretty much, Brittany hit it right on the head. She doesn't want to put herself in that box and say, I'm doing this just for black people, because then she's going to get defeated.
The white people, she's going to lose everyone else.
She's going to lose everyone else.
I understand what all I'm saying is, saying that she lost me. She lost my black ass and my vote, because I'm not voting for you if you say that.
Right. But she can't say, I'm only doing this for black people only.
That would be a true
politician. That's fine, man.
What about for white people?
That's fine. Then she lost my vote because Chinese people did get laws specifically for them. Other people have gotten laws specifically for them.
Absolutely.
So for you to say that, and you a so-called black person, even though that's questionable, looking at her background.
What was that?
Why is that questionable? Her father's Jamaican.
I know it was an interview she did.
But now, father, that shouldn't be questionable because her father's Jamaican. Her father's Jamaican, her mother's Indian.
That might mean physically you look black. But I'm talking about her experience growing up as a black American.
She talked about that.
It's part of the culture.
She talked about growing up in the black neighborhood, being where her mom.
That don't mean nothing. It was white people at my HBCU.
Yeah, like
what do that mean?
Like two.
She could have been the third one. That's what I'm saying.
She talked about her upbringing, and she talked about being raised in a black neighborhood, and she talked about her mom, even though her mom was Asian.
Her mom is Indian, exactly. So how you raised by an Indian mother and you grew up black?
Because she got two mixed girls.
Obama was raised by a white woman.
She talked about her mom.
They argue he ain't black either from how he was born.
But she
How he grew up.
The fact that her
I don't agree with that, bud.
I'm not saying I didn't say me. I said they argue that he ain't either because of his
She
background.
talked about the fact that her mom raised her and her sister as black.
She has.
But her mother's not black, so how
It
you?
don't matter.
That does matter. If my mother's white or Indian, how is she raising me as a black child? How is that possible?
There is at least 5 white women that are in black neighborhoods at a black school doing black things.
She grew up in a black neighborhood.
Her mother, I think, was an educator, right?
Okay.
She was
So,
a scientist or something.
She grew up in a black neighborhood.
I don't know that.
I don't think she
I'm
did.
saying in my school we have white mothers and they are.
That's not what I
Well,
heard.
from what I remember her saying.
That's not what I heard.
She said her mother instilled the importance of them knowing their culture. I do remember her specifically saying that.
But their culture is Indian and Jamaican.
No, her black culture. Her
Indian and Jamaican. Jamaican Americans are not necessarily black Americans.
You don't consider Jamaican being?
They're black people. But
No,
if we
they
talking
have
about
the
the
black
black American experience, that's not necessarily true. Because it's a lot of Caribbeans who come here and they look down on black Americans. Just like certain Africans.
Yeah,
Yes.
Africans do.
Yes.
A lot of Africans.
Caribbeans do that sometimes
Caribbeans
too.
do.
Yes.
Why?
They say we're not.
Because they come to the country and they say, okay, I've been able to open a jerk chicken spot. I've been able to open a store. You black people been here for generations. Why haven't you all been able to do that? Not realizing you get certain benefits as an immigrant coming here. Specifically, I'm gonna talk about the Arabs, but any immigrant, to my knowledge, can come here, open a store where you don't have to pay any taxes for 7 years. And after 7 years, instead of paying taxes, I can put the business in my sister's name now, and now we got another 7 years tax free. You have certain benefits that we as black Americans do not get being born here. So they will look down on us sometimes and say like, well, we've been able to do this and open this and accomplish that. What's your issue?
I've heard of Africans.
So no, just because you got black or melanated skin does not automatically mean you have the black experience growing up here.
But she said they were raised in a black neighborhood.
She also said her grandma was black though. And then that turned out to be a lie.
Is black. If her father
On the
black.
father's side.
Y'all heard about the picture she took and said this was my grandma and it was actually her maid or something like that in Jamaica?
I can't.
Y'all, we watching 2 different news then, cause y'all didn't know about the interview. Y'all didn't see the black grandma
I ain't heard
picture.
about that interview.
But I mean,
but that interview, though,
she do have a
that
black
interview could
grandma.
be taken a few
If
different
her
ways.
father
and bring
is,
it right on
if her father is
I
African,
disagree with
if
the
her father
context
is
y'all took it
African and
in.
Her mom is Asian. She got
Her
a black
father's
grandma.
Jamaican.
Jamaican. Okay, black. to
Okay,
me.
so what would happen if
African-
we say
African-American.
that the
African
American
descent.
experience,
He's
if you
Jamaican,
were
African
a
descent.
Native American, an indigenous person, you had to do through the whole Trail of Tears. All your stuff was taken away, you were moved to reservation.
Right.
If you black, you came here slavery. If you were Chinese, you came here for the railroads, and then they told you couldn't bring your family.
Possibly.
And then if you were Irish, you came here to do certain jobs.
Because
So,
you
like,
might have come here for the
everybody-
railroad or you might have come after all of that. So
Well,
it
I'm just saying,
depends.
so if that's the case where you're in a situation where your bootstraps are not really boot because nobody really pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, if she didn't do anything specifically with blacks, are we really mad about that? Because in
I am, yes. If you
Okay,
claiming to be black, yes, I'm
so
mad
you
at
either want
that.
reparations or you don't, or you want something else that is specifically for us.
Most definitely.
Okay, I'm not mad about
it. In a corporation,
Pretty
which
deep.
you cannot say that. You can do
Yeah,
it,
you can.
but you can't say
'Cause
that.
you're
Your
gonna lose
father,
everyone
You gotta play politics.
your father
You're
is a
gonna lose
prime
everyone
example.
else.
You're going to lose everyone. You have
Your
to play
father is
politics.
a prime example, and
Yeah.
I told him this some years ago. I said I like the way you manage, because he's over people. He looks out for his own, but he can't go in there. He can't get that job going in there saying, well, you know, when I get in here, if it's 10
I gotta hook my people up.
white men
I'm telling y'all that now.
and it's 15 black people, no, I'm gonna look out for mine first. He can't say
That's
that.
a fair point.
He can do it,
That's
but
a
he
fair
can't say
point.
it. So to me,
Yeah.
that's what she was
Politics.
saying.
I'm not
You
disagreeing
can't-
with y'all about
Yeah.
that. That's a fair point. My only issue with that would be we've already seen an example of that in Obama. And I did not see him do anything for black people once he got in the office.
I got something.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think the Democratic Party.
That's what a lot of people have.
Yeah. are weak in this area because they don't promote what the Democratic Party really accomplished.
Okay.
And during Obama, and I can't go down the list because
it's so many.
He did a whole lot.
But if he did a lot, y'all should be able to name, because I can name what he did. I can name what he did for Hispanics.
I can't name it.
I can name what he did for Hispanics, and I can name what he did for homosexuals, because those were the two biggest groups that funded his campaign.
The Dream Act for the Hispanics was the big one for that.
He promoted the gay marriage and all of that with the homosexuals. What did he do for black people?
I don't know, but I got a list.
Well, then that's my problem right there.
I've seen a list. Is what I'm saying, and you wouldn't even think that he did a whole lot for Hispanic for the other minority groups that you just named.
I got funded.
A lot of people say, "Oh, he was the president; he didn't do nothing." Really,
I didn't say that.
But a lot of people do.
He
didn't say he didn't do anything.
He did like most politicians,
saying the same thing you do, or JT. Say Obama didn't do nothing for the black people, didn't do nothing. And I was like, I was trying to think of all his accomplishments off the top of my head, but I couldn't because it's been so many.
But the Democrats they're terrible about highlighting what they do accomplish.
Even
Juan and I were just having this discussion too.
Because she might have won, well, I don't know, but she might have won had I was disappointed during the whole campaign process because I thought they should have been highlighting Project 2025. Yeah. What exactly. you got $1 billion. Mm-hmm. She raised a lot of money. You have $1 billion.
Why are you not saying
this 2025 is going to hurt poor people?
Yes.
It ain't hurting white people.
Poor people,
not at all.
Middle class.
It's reducing Medicare. It's reducing Social Security.
Yeah.
We pay for Social Security.
Y'all,
I work every day. I pay for Social Security. How you gonna reduce my Social Security bill?
You know what?
So it's doing all
everything you're
that.
saying is true, bro.
And they should have had commercials running. If I was on their campaign, you should have had commercials running 24/7.
And as you see, my uncle is struggling to find what they specifically did for black people, because my understanding, and I could be wrong. I actually hope that they prove me wrong. I hope that they prove me wrong, but my understanding of what he did, it was similar to what Kamala just said of like, we're going to do things that benefit everybody, and it's going to trickle down to black people. It's going to inadvertently also benefit black people, but it was nothing specific that he did for us.
Black people is what you're saying.
And my other issue with Obama, I give credit where it's due. I give all credit 100% to Obama as far as his image. He was probably the best president I've ever seen, image-wise, because he didn't have a single scandal. They didn't find any dirt on him.
Nothing.
The biggest issue was him wearing a tan suit, which is nothing. So I got to give him his all respect due and all props for that. But as far as his politics, I was not a fan. I'm happy I didn't vote for him either, because his term is when they killed Muammar Gaddafi, which a lot of people are not fans of Gaddafi, but I do like the fact he was trying to make one currency for the entire continent of Africa and back it by gold or some other actual mineral or resource, which would have crippled the American dollar and the euro. That would have made African money one of the most valuable, if not number one, in the world. Right. The fact that he was a part of the campaign where they passed the Dark Food Act, I cannot support that man. But as an image, again, I can't, he did a good job.
But you do know that he's not the only one that runs the government. At some point in time,
I don't even think he run it at all.
I was about to say, but at some point in time, you have your specialists and you're saying that this is probably what you need to do next. Because I agree with you on that. There was a whole canal and there's water, and Gaddafi was not the person people kind of made him out to be.
Right.
But I agree with you that. But I'm not sure if that was Obama.
I think one thing back.
It was during his presidency, though.
Yeah. Said they were blacks for Trump making this statement, and I thought it was asinine that she's not qualified.
Well, you know what? Well, here's the thing.
That got my goal.
Yeah.
She's a state's attorney, attorney general of California.
She was a federal prosecutor,
a senator, junior senator in the United States Senate, and vice president of the United States. How damn qualified do you have to be to run for that
she
office?
Wasn't white,
but I know,
and she wasn't a man.
But that's
the elephant in the.
But black people, and I know this would be.
I would say she was probably much more qualified than Trump.
I
would say that.
Other presidents as well. But I heard a lot of black people, she's just not qualified.
I think their biggest argument.
That I feel that was the biggest scapegoat a lot of people use, and it was so
economy.
sad when our own people said that as well, because the elephant in the room that nobody wanted to address was that, I feel personally, my opinion, is that they brought up every excuse against the obviously most qualified person running for the presidency. That anybody would know that. They brought up everything from her not being qualified, she's not strong enough, she's not this, she's not that. But the underlying basis under all that, I feel, was there. And not only white people can be racist, black people can be racist.
Definitely.
As well.
And
So
Latinos.
I think a lot of people felt that just the same thing in 2016 with Hillary. And it doesn't matter if Kamala would have won the popular vote. They are not ready and never will be.
They wanted that white man to win. Yeah.
And no less a woman, and no less a woman of color in charge of this country.
Right.
That's really it in a nutshell.
That's it in a nutshell.
I think
but other countries have women running.
Look at Mexico. Look at
no
Mexico.
problem. Right.
She's a Nobel Prize winner.
Yeah.
She is a scientist. She was obviously the best candidate.
Right.
Thank God she got elected.
Thank God.
How she got over the machismo of Mexicans?
No 5 families.
Even in Africa too, as many parts of Africa can be kind of misogynistic. It's women presidents over there. A woman president was running Tanzania. They was talking about one in Ethiopia.
But see, not in the U.S.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Not in the U.S.
But I think, and again, to play God's advocate, because I don't agree with what they were saying, but to your point, what I heard a lot of them saying in terms of her qualifications was that she wasn't elected because of Biden stepping down. So they was like, well, they didn't even pick her. And that was their main argument.
He should have stepped aside
Long
a long time ago.
But you know what? It's not just Biden. The Democrats.
But again,
yeah,
we back
they should have had a primary.
Even if she would have stepped away a long time ago,
it wouldn't have
then nobody should have said they
mattered.
wanted to run for the president.
But
But
didn't
nobody step up.
I said that when they were
she's
saying
a woman and she's black.
Yeah.
That was saying when they did the speeches, they kept saying
tell them to kiss.
it's not fair. What's not fair?
Kiss my white ass.
It should have been.
The only reason he ran because nobody else wanted to run.
But you might have to edit this. Kiss that old, entire, white, 80-year-old ass.
I'm keeping that in.
Because we still gotta end up with a white 80-year-old ass.
All right. Facts.
Jackass. 80-year-old jackass.
He probably was ready to step down and ready to retire, but nobody in the Democratic Party would step up
You're
to
right.
run for the president.
You're right.
And everybody know that Donald Trump is a damn idiot and a fool. And so Biden said, okay, it got to be me again, because ain't nobody else stepping up. He didn't really want to do that.
And I agree. I have my own theory also with that. Not only is this country not ready for a woman or a woman of color to lead, it also goes to the other hidden elephant in the room that they'll never admit. Let's make America great again? No. They want to make America white again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again. One of the reasons.
I was actually talking to my boss about that because we had a little one-on-one, and he just asked me how I was feeling, and I just told him not good. And this was right after the election.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Ask my husband.
Yeah. And we just had a talk about that. He's a white man, but he's gay.
So he's still a part of it.
So he still feels oppressed. Right. So he told me, he's like, I have a feeling we're on the same team. You voted Kamala. I'm like, yeah. And
because it just felt Kamala's more sympathetic towards
the Democratic Party. They support the gay agenda, man.
Yeah. But see, Trump is suppressing everyone.
Facts.
That is not
white
like
male. Period.
Yeah, that is not like him, or that doesn't fit in his box.
Got my damn nerves. He's been married to the nationality. Immigrants.
All right, facts. And then but he want to kick him out the country, but he like having sex, sleeping with him.
Have y'all seen the porn pictures of her?
Nah.
Porn? Yes.
Putin actually put that on TV.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
He did.
Russia released some porn.
Oh wow.
I mean, they actually showed her new pictures on TV, and the people that on Putin Russian media. Melania. And here is Trump with an immigrant wife. If he plans on deporting people like me, is he going to deport his wife too?
No.
Exactly.
I've been here longer than
Exactly. Yeah, he ain't gonna do that.
Exactly my point.
You already know.
So how the hell do you want to do these mass deportations without deporting your own damn wife?
Right.
Who has
But he
been
made
here
her
less than
parents.
years?
The hypocrisy, man.
Here's a media outlet. I don't know how much we can trust. It's called the Kyiv Independent. I'm guessing it's Russian. Where it says Russian state TV airs explicit photos of Melania Trump as they
They
congratulate.
had on the nightly.
That's
They
a
was
video,
laughing
right?
at him.
Now these aren't the ones that we've already seen. I'm about to show.
Didn't he like deep throat the mic too or something like that?
Yes, he did.
I ain't even see that. I heard about it. I ain't even.
Like this.
Yeah, he was up there.
It was horrible.
A week before the end, like
This
this.
y'all
His face behind him doing like this. Women too. I'll be getting these motherfuckers, boy.
Hey, so
I don't know what juice they drank.
So I'm gonna take the camera out their face and say I appreciate everybody giving y'all opinions though, because I wanted the Africans and people around the world.
Fake assassination attempts.
Right.
Oh,
I wanted the people around the world to see. A lot of America do not rock with Trump just because he's the president.
They cheated.
Now I would have preferred if we had at least one person who did vote for Trump here, because I would have liked to get their opinion and perspective too. But this is all Kamala supporters and then me who didn't vote for nobody. So
That was here. Somebody voted for Trump that was in my house.
I don't think so, but I wanted to get their side too. You know,
Today, but
Rodell voted for Trump. See, that's what I'm saying.
2016.
He probably did again this year.
Yeah, he probably did.
And they say that it doubled. Even though they say 80% of black men voted for Kamala, they said it was 10% that voted for Trump the first term and 20% of black men voted for him this time. So the support doubled, man.
Absolutely. So as soon as they come back with, can this be aired or edited? Because as soon as they come out with now slap a nigga Tuesday, I don't want to hear no black person.
Why he want me to take all the good stuff? We keeping that.
You don't want to hear no complaints.
We keeping that.
It's official law of the land.
Right.
I don't want to hear nobody say shit. Right. Trump said.
I swear I'm standing out on Tuesday.
That's
This shit's right
funny,
here,
man.
guys. And they covering the goodies right here.
You stand in the house on Tuesday.
I'm standing.
All right, let me see that. I'm gonna end it with that, man. This is the first
That
lady.
is the first lady. And I'm trying to find the one with her breasts actually out. They just covered it up being PC on that.
So just so y'all can see, man, America ain't really behind Donald Trump as a whole.
At all.
It is a lot of us that are, but especially black folks, Hispanic, even some white people are not rocking with him like that. But it's a lot of racists in our country.
Ooh, yes.
So it's like it's hard for us. You know, just because this whole room, the majority represents Kamala, that's not indicative of the country, man.
Right.
We got a lot of places with sundown towns and places where we ain't welcome, and I'm sure a lot of them voted for Trump. So I just want y'all to have some well-rounded information, man. Just to know we ain't all crazy over here. Because a lot of them was looking at me like I was crazy going over there to Namibia. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Why did y'all vote for him again?
But
You feel me?
The orange man that did this to the microphone. Y'all voted for him?
So I appreciate y'all for giving the opinion.
Thank you.
And for us being able to respectfully disagree. I love that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's healthy to have conversation and dialogue, man.
Get ugly.
Yeah, facts.
Thanksgiving dinner.
I was like, why
That's true democracy.
Yeah, they probably would have jumped me if I said I voted for Trump.
Your auntie wouldn't have let you take them.
On the real. I ain't allowed in here again.